Fuck is up, everybody? Welcome back to DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex, joined again by the most dynamic trio in the Metroplex. Goddamn electric vengeance.
What's up? Happy to be here.
Woo! First time a band has come back for a second visit to the really ghetto studio. But it's also the first time that we are doing it in celebration of a CD release that came out yesterday called Homicidal Relapse.
Homicidal.
Homicidal?
Homo.
It's not. Yeah, it's not about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Alright, so let's get the history of this. So when did y'all decide to just like, okay, we're ready to do the second album? Like, how did this all come about?
Well, I think it was just about time. I mean, it was, 3 years later about, and we finally, saved up enough money, from all our gigging and everything to do it, which, cost quite a bit, so we are diligent about that, and being straight about not paying out of our own pockets, so, took about that long, and it just coincided with, the length of time to probably go ahead and do that. So we decided, yeah, it's time to do. We had more material, and we were ready to go at that point.
And I listened to the album all day this morning. It's really fucking good. If y'all guys haven't already picked it up, pick it up. If you were at the show last night, you should have picked it up. Can I ask about how many of the copies did you sell?
I don't even know if we counted yet. It's just
been about half the box was gone, but that was the 50 box.
So we don't know.
So maybe, I don't know,
roughly
25.
I'm the special guy who was the first one to actually buy it.
He was, yeah.
So plus 5 to my little achievement bonuses in life.
Congratulations.
But, I mean, great show last night, first of all. With like a really stellar lineup, we had Release the Fallen, Brazilian thrash metal band that I think just kind of hit the scene because this is like the second time I've ever seen them. They finally got a bass player. They're really fucking good. Check them out. Boys, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out to come on the show eventually because we need it. And you got to bring the fucking mask too. Y'all have to bring your fucking mask on the show. I'm sorry. Secondly was Sex Cult, which was a band from Austin. It was their third show ever. And they came from Austin to Dallas. Fuck, I've played 8 shows and I've never even left the area yet. I think I'm fucking up right now. But they were really good. It seems like they were dressed to play punk, but they were very heavy.
Yeah, I liked them. I watched their whole set, and I was very impressed. And they told me it was their third show, and I was really taken aback by it. They seemed really good, and
just nice guys.
Nice dudes,
chill dudes.
Yeah.
Probably one of those instances where they've probably been jamming for like a good while before they actually had their first show. Because it seems like they were all pretty tight on stage, so there was probably like that before factor that they were in. At fucking Crop Dust, third band, like nothing more needs to be said, except the fact that I didn't like the way our interview went, so we need to have y'all back on here and do a better one. Just my opinion. It's my fault it was bad, but I mean they did fucking great. It's good to see Rudy back. Rudy was sick for a while. They played a couple of shows because of it, so it's always good to see someone healed back up. Then we had Sparrows, fucking brutal ass melodic black metal band that always slays dragons. We played with them at the Giant the Mountain Return show. Jason Hans is a really nice guy, definitely a hard-working guy in the scene, so it's always cool to see them play. Then you guys just went on stage and you did what you always did in fucking suits. In suits. I was like, God damn it, that's great.
Yeah, we had that idea for a long time. I think Paul.
I've been trying to get these guys to do that show with me for years, man.
But it's just been so hot though. It's like never a good time.
Yeah, I mean it's like
Texas,
9 months out of the year. It's summer.
So last night was perfect to do it. So it was fun.
And I remember Brandon saying like early on, like, "Oh man, I hope it's not going to be too hot." I'm like, "No, it probably won't be."
Not cold weather worked
It'll
out,
be,
man. It's cold
close.
shit last night.
It was. Yeah.
So it was good.
I mean,
it was hard to do.
Right.
I'll be honest, that was hard to do, man. That was physically taxing.
Trying to move around like you normally do in
I
a
was
suit.
wearing those Stacey Adams shoes. I couldn't really. They're real slick.
Yeah, they are.
So I couldn't really jump around too much. It was fun.
Don't want to fall and bust your ass.
I tried to do the moonwalk last night. I don't know if y'all noticed.
I did not.
I hope there's a video of that.
I know. I'm hoping.
Honestly, dude, through like most of your set, I was trying to instigate a mosh pit. Like I was like.
You did. I noticed that. It was.
I thought it was a pretty good mosh pit.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
People
really
went nuts for that candy, dude.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Nice.
Okay, I don't know who was. Okay, I forget everyone who was throwing the candy. Y'all, some of y'all need better aim. Y'all like hit me in the face like twice. Like I was just like, yeah. And fucking took a Snickers right to the eye.
It was a bunch of drunk cats or something, dude.
Yeah.
It was my sister-in-law too. She's up there.
So just candy being thrown to the crowd. Like you guys always do something when y'all play that kind of sets yourself apart. Like the April Fool's show that y'all played, where we just got a bunch of shaving cream pies and just smashed each other. That was absolutely fun.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
That doesn't even feel like months and months ago.
Yeah.
That feels like it was like last month.
Right.
It's the little touches like that. Like, I mean, we even sprinkled a little cinnamon on the shaving cream.
And I mean, y'all guys had a really good turnout too. Really, really good sized crowd for a CD release show, especially for Friday night at Reno's. You know.
And Hatebreed playing too.
Yeah, you know, yeah. For competing with Hatebreed, you guys had a really good draw.
We did. It was a great time.
And then obviously you never give the CD release band the final slot. You give them the slot before the final slot. So Interment closed out the show, and do I really have to say anything? Interment's been around since '91.
I know, man. They're like
destroying the world.
Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah.
Dude.
They are tough.
I'll tell you what.
Nicest guys too.
I have just nothing but respect for them, you know, for doing it for so long like that, and emerging from the death metal scene when it, you know, kind of came about around that time.
Yeah, because I mean, if it was '91, that was right when Death was getting really big and Cannibal Corpse was starting to get a lot of really fast movement. So they were right there in the thick of it. Actually, funny story. When we went to see Forceps, originally death metal band that played at Reno's a couple weeks ago, like eight of the Pitbulls were there on like the middle of the week, which is pretty wild. Interment opened up for them, and Brandon was just getting crazy drunk on stage while playing. He still didn't miss a beat, like at all. And then when their set got done,
experience, man.
Right?
I've been practicing.
Hell yeah! And so what ended up happening was when Forceps went on, this motherfucker was moshing with Pitbulls and holding his own pretty well. And I'm like, God damn it, this guy is like our Lemmy Kilmister. It just kind of hit me. Like I mean, like the motherfucker didn't break his leg, but really messed up his leg one time. And he ended up the same day, or like the day before, a show that he was supposed to play at Reno's. And he got a cast of crutches and just went up there and played. Like, with his bass in hand. It was fucking wild as fuck.
That sounds hard.
Wow.
So it was a great show. If you weren't there, you're wrong. I don't know what else to say.
If you weren't there, we're playing again, what, on the 3rd?
Is it the 3rd?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Where's that?
It's going to be at Wits End.
Ooh, is that?
Yeah.
Was that with Chemicals?
With Chemicals.
Oh, yeah, it's another Metal vs. Punk, right?
I think it might be John Williams had told me he might want to change it to just a metal show, so I'm not really know the status of it right now.
Well, I mean, with Chemicals, I would assume so. So anyway, we're going to hop right into the album. So I'm a guy, when I buy an album, I like to look at everything, because this, to me, is like a piece of history, no matter like how big or how small. You know, there's always something that you can appreciate. First off, the first thing that comes to mind when you look at this is some sick fucking artwork. Like, it's very detailed. You have like all these skulls in the background. From what I could see in the back, like you see like all these fires coming out of like furnaces. So I'm thinking like this is like chambers where like you burn people alive or some shit.
Crematorium.
Yeah. And fucking the demigod right there in the middle. Just like I said, he was the one responsible for all that shit. You know what I mean? It's really cool. So why don't we shout out the person who designed this beautiful work of art?
Yeah, it was
give her some love.
Andy Solis, and we've known her for a long time. She did the Manic Possession art as well, and we had the idea. Trey just gave her the lyrics to Homicidal Relapse, and she just came up with the art piece. So she read it, and this was just all from her mind after reading our song.
Yeah, that was very important, I thought, because first off, we didn't really have a concept for the artwork itself. So I thought, well, she's an artist, and why don't we just let her be inspired by the lyrics, the imagery from the lyrics, and let her come up with something totally original. The only input we really had was we wanted Electric Harry somehow in it and our logo, but that was very trivial compared to everything else she came up with. But that's really all our input we had was that and lyrics, and she came up with it.
She actually messaged Anthony a while back when Anthony was still in the band, asking about doing artwork for Skull Archer. Obviously, we're not in any position to even think about running in like a debut album or anything. But like seeing this, I definitely have her in mind. I definitely have her in mind.
Yeah, she's awesome. That cover turned out rad.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, in the back, you got the boys shooting some Gatorade. Got to keep the electrolytes up.
Yeah, that picture too was taken by Ryan Javier, who's a local photographer, and that was at the Total Chaos conflict show.
Yeah.
That was right outside of Curtain Club.
And Gatorade was a clever product placement because they're our sponsor.
Endorse us! Endorse us, Gatorade!
We're not getting paid yet, but
we
we do love it, and it's delicious and refreshing.
And then obviously you have the titles of the songs on the back. But if you want a more clear reading of them, you can open up the booklet. And the booklet definitely has them right here when you first open up, right above who they thank. When they thank DFW Metal Mayhem. So, yay. First band I had on the podcast, so it really means a lot to me that y'all did that for us. Even if Levy, as of right now, is not a co-host, we're in talks. He may come back. I mean, in my opinion, you shout out all the right people. You know what I mean? Like, these are all the people that I see in the scene all the time, that, I see at your shows all the time, all the bands that, that we all connect with and talk to all the time. Everyone from Exploder to Gruesome Fate, which I was like, fuck yeah, Gruesome Fate. Crucifix, and that kind of made me a little sad because Logan, fucking bring it back.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck, bring it back, dude. I was really happy to see Running Riot on here.
Yeah.
And Black Star Republic too. I didn't even know have y'all played shows with them often?
They were at that show where that picture was taken, right?
No, it was
Curtain Club though.
Oh yeah, we played a show with them at the Curtain Club before.
Yeah, it was with the Slate Terrica.
And I know they were really cool with Silver Tongue Devil. Or Wake the Fear, maybe.
Yeah, they were really
Chris,
cool.
our brother Chris knows them pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, real nice guys and great musicians.
Yeah, we actually.
We tried to include everybody. I mean, I think we pretty much nailed it. Everybody.
It's a long fucking list.
Yeah. It is.
The only person I forgot that occurred to me later was Debbie Sexton from 97.1, The Eagle, and I wanted to, personally shout her out because, she's helped us quite a bit.
Even a lot of
great lady.
Yeah, she's played our stuff. She played Street Urchin, before this was released twice, which was real cool.
Awesome to hype it up for you.
Yeah.
She played Super Shredder off of Manic too a couple of times. Yeah, she's really a big support. Always gives us a shout out.
Yeah, and then definitely shouting out the people who this album is dedicated to, the ones who were not physically here to see but are here with us in spirit. You shouted out your friend Jeff. Really awesome to see that. Joshua Casella, formerly of Exploder. Well, not formerly, always of Exploder in spirit and in heart, and with everyone here. Rustin, I really don't need to say anything. If you watch this show, I just say Rustin, and you know who that is. And Chuck Berry, I really like that.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Chuck Berry is huge inspiration to us.
He's the original punk rocker.
Yeah, man.
And Trey and I got to see him.
Father of rock and roll for fucking sure.
Oh yeah, no, he is. Yeah, he is the father of rock and roll. Sorry, Elvis. Sorry. And then obviously all the specs. For anyone who hasn't seen Electric Vengeance yet, because there are some people who are out of state that watch the show. In the song Gunfight, it's sung by this gentleman right here. Everything, wait, hold up, if I'm right, you wrote everything in Gunfight,
Yes.
essentially.
I wrote the lyrics.
but he wrote riffs and lyrics on Beaten to Death for Exercise.
Oh, okay, I got those two mixed up.
And the drums.
God damn it, I'm supposed to be the number one fan.
Don't forget the drums.
I was supposed to be the number one fan, and I didn't even, and I confused that. Oh well. CD.
You're half right, man.
CD looks really fucking cool. Got like a really nice looking skull on it with EV.
And Zena Martin, give her a shout out too. She was there last night. You met her, I think, Billy. Zena. She did all the graphic design of the booklet. She made the CD art.
Oh yeah. So
like the skull on the back of your shirt, she just created. That was all Zena.
Mm-hmm.
Zena Martin of Z Designs.
Honestly, and you know. When you open it up, you do get the skull that is on the back of the shirt that lists the band members, what they do. The best thing about this entire thing is Dead Poser, not Dead Poser, but Poser 213. You know, you see his feet fucking covered up.
Toe tag.
Love it. And I honestly love the way you guys put lyrics in the booklet. You know, you have everyone who does like page, which is cool. Because, you know, they all get their own page,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, fuck, I gotta flip through all this.
It gets bulky too.
Yeah.
I've never really liked
Money to
it.
print.
And more
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, more print, more money, but this way, you have it all, like, going down, and it, like, you know, if I ever need to, like, find out, like, you know, like, oh shit, what are you saying in this line? You can just open it up and just, like, boom, right there. You don't have to flip through all these pages, or struggle to get the fucking book out of the CD thing. I mean, okay, if you want to know how to do a booklet, a CD right from the booklet to everything, it's this right here. It's this. This is how you do it. Another band that does it really well is Oberon. Those two bands, these guys and Oberon, do it better than anybody. So just
Anybody needs any graphic design, hit up Zena Martin, Z Designs.
yeah.
House of Zena.
Yeah. We don't just support local bands, we support local people that help us in any way, shape, or form possible. That's what it's always about. So, I do want to get into every song, because I did listen to every song, like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that's just me, like nonstop. So, for those who don't know, there was an EP released by these guys back around
2012.
right around 2012, which has 4 songs. 3 of those songs are in this re-recorded and mastered perfectly. So this album starts off with the song that they always start with live, no matter what it is, Street Metal Attack. And, you know, it's fucking amazing because it's a good build-up, and then Paul just gets the crowd pumped by just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just everyone hits. It's like fucking magic. I love it. This song made me want to just like do my truck in a circle and mosh other trucks, but I can't do that because truck will get wrecked, I'll get fired. That's no good for nobody.
Seems like an overall bad idea.
Very, very bad idea because what if the CD breaks in the process? That'd be the worst of it.
That's worst case.
Yeah, that would be the worst of it for me.
Yeah.
You can get another truck. You can't get the first bought fucking CD. You can't get that. Once you lose that, it's gone. So you know, Street Metal was definitely one of my favorites on the EP. Especially just in my opinion on the EP, I thought that's where your vocals sound the best out of the 4 songs. So why don't we go into that song specifically? So like what's the background? And I'm pretty much gonna ask you what the background is on all these songs as we go through with them.
I think
Sure.
Trey wrote these lyrics mostly.
Yeah, gosh, that was one of our first songs, probably written about 2007 or 8. I'm thinking, but yeah, at the time, you know, we were practicing in the neighborhood, Brandon's garage, and we were just constantly being harassed by the neighbors about us playing so loud and complaints of the windows rattling, and literally, I mean, we only practiced like maybe an hour and a half on Wednesdays or something, about 2 o'clock, decent hour. And yeah, the neighbor would literally call the police, every time we started, and long story short, this was kind of a reaction to all of that, street metal attack, just about us kind of being the black sheep of the neighborhood and, kind of rising against, the neighbors and trying to fight for a right to, be able to jam.
Nobody had to say that.
Yeah, and at a decent hour, we didn't really feel like we were hurting anything.
They got a committee to get us off the block.
It's true, and she was leaving us, this is a true story, she was leaving us anonymous cardboard notes on our cars saying, you'll be ticketed by Brantford police if you continue, and, we just kind of got a laugh out of it. But
wait, hold up, isn't that illegal if they, try to forge as if they're an employee of the city?
No, just like a passive aggressive. If you look at our Facebook profile, I think it's a profile. It's one of our old profiles.
Or was it cover pic or something? Yeah, something.
Yeah.
But it said you'll be ticketed by GP police for playing loud music in a residential area. You've been warned twice! Exclamation point!
Just these,
2 exclamation points.
But a shredded piece of cardboard.
Right. It's it looked very official.
Yeah, it looked like it was from an Avon type of box.
But shout out to GP police because they were nothing but cool to us, and they were, we were.
Yeah, they were, just happy we weren't getting into trouble.
And they even watched us practice once, and they just said, just try to turn it down. We're not doing anything illegal. They were always cool.
No, because city ordinance says that you can be as loud as you want until a certain amount of time.
Right, and we did it Tuesday or Wednesday, like Trey said, at 2 in the afternoon.
I don't know. I'm very lucky because we practice in the garage twice a week. I've never had the cops called. And we didn't even have the cops.
You're super lucky.
Well, I know, I've been...
we are in the fucking minority of minorities. Dude. And we're super thankful.
I think the first ticket I ever got was for, what is that called? Disturbing the peace, whatever that is.
Disturbing the peace.
Yeah, for playing my band in my garage when I was fucking 16, man.
Yeah, define peace. I mean, what does that mean?
When I saw Exploder play in Oak Cliff...
What if metal is peace?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. My peace. But seeing Exploder play, dude, they had their open garage and they were loud as hell, and I was thinking, dang, are they gonna get the cops called on them? They said they've never had the cops called on them. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've never had that either.
And when we were in our garage, we had to keep our garage door closed because they got, the summertime was unbearable.
And my phone.
And we had these small amps too, 60 watt, 100 watt amps.
Yeah.
So if you want to know just how upset they are about this, actually,
years later,
I will quote you. We'll pound you to death, and we'll chop off your hands with our axes of thrash and the beatings you dread.
Chop off your heads.
Chop heads. Fuck. I did this.
And hands.
No, we can chop off your
Yeah,
heads.
I want to do both, okay?
You stole the camel! Because I think it's one of the first instances of that being a punishment by governmental law was if you just stole someone's camel, oh, you don't do that, and your hand's gone.
I bet you won't do it again.
Yeah, because
I bet you won't do it.
Because how can you steal the camel?
You can only do it twice.
Yeah. And if you have no hands, you can't steal nothing.
And then you take your hand and slap them with it.
Exactly. I mean, unless you just gain the ability to just grab shit with your feet and hop off with it, you ain't still nothing after them 2 times.
It seems.
You're dumb as fuck.
And also, real quick, street metal is kind of our genre. We've been told we sound a lot like street punk, but also some classic heavy metal. One of our first EPs, or I guess demo, is called Heavy Metal for the Punks. And it's kind of our own style, street metal.
Hell yeah. So the second song is the title track of the album, Homicidal Relapse. And goddamn, I'm gonna need to find it real quick because my erection is still penetrating your flesh. Feel it slide inside, ecstasy from your death. God damn it, I love that. I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's subliminal,
Very. So.
It means you're a perv, dude.
Yeah. I just want to see the penis made of steel. That's all. I don't know. Let's get fucking Colossus from the X-Men in here real quick. So, what is this one about?
Well, I wrote this one. Basically, it's about just a guy who had killed before, maybe kept it a secret for many years, and then all of a sudden got the urge and compulsion to do it again. His curiosity is just, fueling his perversion. And finally, he just gives into it, and he's basically a budding serial killer, and he winds up doing it, and in the end, just kind of falls into complete psychosis, And I'm glad you brought up that lyric too, because I wanted it to be kind of subtle. I didn't want to be too blunt. We're not a death metal band, but we're kind of, experimenting with, more morbid lyrics. And, erection of steel is, well, he must have a sexual dysfunction. So, he
uses his into this character's nuts and bolts right here.
his erection of steel is, since he can't, I guess, get it up unless he's being sadistic, he has a knife.
Ooh.
And then penetrating your flesh, well, it could be into the vagina, or it could be, into the heart.
Or the anus.
Or the anus, yeah, whatever your taste is.
But if it goes in the anus, there's a 30% more likely chance she'll call you daddy.
Yeah.
Scientific fact.
And then feel it slide inside, it's kind of like some more play on words. Then your ecstasy from your death is orgasm from a death.
So if y'all can't hear, my puppy's trying out to be the new drummer for Skull Archer. I'll keep y'all updated on that.
He's got the double kicks, man. He's getting close.
He's getting there, but it seems like he gives up halfway in, which sucks because he's a puppy.
But he's gonna have to train if he wants to do blast beats. Then.
I heard from the tournament, you need to come here right now and teach my puppy. That guy does fucking blast beats like a motherfucker. Third on the list is Street Urchin, which, this song to me is like the cousin, so it's like all these songs are like brothers and sisters. Well, this guy's like the cousin that he doesn't quite relate to everyone else, but like everyone still loves him. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But like this is like the guy at the family reunion that like everyone like kind of just like respects what he does and all that, but when it comes to everyone else, they kind of treat him differently for some reason. I only say this because for some reason when y'all play this, I see some of the crowd just kind of like turn away or something, but like I fucking love this song.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Play it, man.
It's a fun song.
And this is one of the songs that you like unearthed from like pretty much the dead, right? Because like y'all used to play it a lot, and then y'all kind of just like
it's
definitely fell off of our set list for a long time.
Yeah.
So what compelled you to bring it back?
We've always loved it. It's something that we've always liked to play. I know it was one of Paul's early on, like his favorite songs.
Yeah.
And I wrote this one. I think it was probably in 2010, and it was inspired by Wayne Williams, who's the Atlanta child killer. And it's not necessarily about him, but it was kind of inspired by him. And I was watching a documentary on him, and he still claims his innocence to this day. But then again, when he talks about, because he had killed a lot of, he called them street urchins, kind of boys on the street, and when he's interviewed, he gets real aggressive, and he just, why are they out anyway? They're just a bunch of street urchins. They're kind of scum of the earth, basically.
Yeah, it's his way of dehumanizing them.
Exactly.
Isn't that the guy when like he was being interviewed about everyone he's murdered? Like when it was brought up that he killed a couple of kids, like he was like, no, we're not talking about that. That never happened. Is it that guy?
Perhaps. I mean, he's still, certain thing. I mean, he did it. It's obvious, and all the killings, of course, stopped. I think he killed over 30 boys. I think in Atlanta in the 70s and 80s.
Jeez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the song necessarily isn't about him. But I thought that was an interesting title, Street Urchin, and just the concept of it. I never heard it. And the first two verses are actually, in my mind, were coming from the quote-unquote street urchin, the kid on the street. Yeah. Not choosing this life, but having to live this life. The verse 3 and verse 4 come from the killer, which could be Wayne Williams or someone else, but through the eyes of the killer and how he sees these kids. And the chorus, to me, it kind of works for whatever. If it could work for the street kid, or it could work for the killer. So So I thought that was kind of an interesting concept, you know. But, anyways.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go try to stop this real quick.
I'm sorry.
Give me like 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
5 minutes.
Feel like
So, y'all know any good jokes?
Is this live?
I feel like it's like Chuck E. Cheese and the curtain should come down like on the robots.
No, they just fucking animatronic rat.
Yeah.
Playing a fucking banjo or whatever. I hope this isn't live for real.
No, I don't think it is.
Well, if it is,
Let's steal Billy's TV.
let's show our dicks.
He'll probably cut it.
I'm sure he will.
Oh man, I'm fucking wiped out.
That was a good show last night, guys.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was great. It was really good.
Here we go. Stop.
Successful. It was good.
Did you chain up the wild beast?
Nah, man, I'm not like that.
That was just a
You should
joke.
kicked him in the ribs 3 or 4 times.
You just let him go.
I just caught it.
Just open the gate.
I know. You throw him over the fence.
Go! Go here! Have fun!
Follow your dreams. I think his only dream is being here right now, but it can't happen. If it happens, he's gonna run over everyone here, love on them to death, and then the podcast ends because there won't be too distracting. And there's homeboy over there with the fucking ice cream cart, American Hero right there. True American Hero. He is. All right. Okay. So after Sugar, we got Bad Boys and Body Bags. Okay. I fucking love this song. I go up and I sing the fucking the chorus with Paul every fucking time they play it. Love it.
Hell
Stop
yeah,
saying
dude.
it.
Hell yeah. It's like it wouldn't feel right if you weren't on stage with us singing the chorus.
Right? I don't know.
Last night I got thrown off. I almost accidentally tongue kissed. I turned to go on the mic and Billy was right there. It's super close. So I guess we're just gonna
What
do
if it
this.
wasn't accidental? Huh? What if I was trying to
Maybe
do
you should
that?
ask me first.
Okay, so this song, and I could take a guess on what it's about. It's like, you know those kids, like, I don't know, like when you were like in school, those kids like try to like act tough, like, you know, like come up and try to intimidate you or some shit, but you know that they're like, deep down inside, they're just like fragile, like motherfucker, like you look at them the wrong way on an off day, or tell them to fuck off, and like it fucking haunts them for like the rest of the day, like fucking really depresses them because you took their power.
Exactly.
I kind of feel like that this is like the ultimate example of
I
that.
think
Like,
they're called jabronis.
jabroni. Oh, I fucking love, dude. We are bringing that term back. I've been saying it for the past couple of days now. I'm trying to bring that shit back, bro. But no, yeah, those guys. I feel like this is like a stab at like anyone who does that.
It kind of is. You kind of nailed it. It's pretty much. I wrote this one too, and it was inspired by some unfortunate events I went through a couple years ago with some people. So I was, you kind of nailed it on the head.
Damn, Brandon, you want to fucking put these dudes in a fucking bag?
Well, no, I did.
Oh
I did
shit.
this. I'm kidding. No, that's what I wanted to do. Instead of going out and on a killing spree, I just wrote a song.
There you go.
Yeah.
See,
See, that's how we've always dealt with shit.
Yeah, see, heavy metal music keeps us from murdering you, so
Yeah.
let us do it, please.
I almost went on a homicidal relapse, but I controlled myself and
Relapse.
So you've done it.
Almost. And then right that is the previously mentioned gunfight, which I love this. I love this song. I'm gonna say about every fucking song on here. You're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. Like I don't know, man. Just like an old timey like Western thrashy sounding song. Like I can like when I start hearing this song, like I just picture like a horse, like cowboy on a horse, just like going down.
I thought you said a whore.
A whore going.
Picture the whore.
Hey man,
Whore.
hey man, depending on what state
In
and
the
what
Old West.
Get some horizontal refreshment.
depending on what state and what time we're talking about back then, it was both.
Yeah.
So, but no, I always feel like you seeing the silhouette of like a cowboy
Wow.
riding on a horse going across the desert, passing a cactus. Because it's like passing like one cactus.
Gunslinger, dude.
Passing like one cactus. And I I don't know. It's just like that. Just kind of like it kind of you can kind of like time it with like the gallops of a horse, I guess.
Right.
Like from the way I see it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm glad you saw that because yeah, we kind of well as far as the drums go, I kind of wanted that galloping beat and to conjure up that image.
Now, isn't the Cankerel like an actual place where like something like
The OK Corral?
Huh?
OK Corral? Is that what you said?
Oh wait, no, hold up. Oh wow. I thought, okay, I'm really fucking stupid. I thought you guys were saying the old Cankerel. Like K-A-N-K.
the old canker sword.
The old canker whore. She gave out the canker sores.
God
when
damn
that
it.
happens.
I am off. I'm off as fuck. I was like, damn.
Well, it's inspired, and we love the movie Tombstone, but not just the movie. Trey and I have been to Tombstone, Arizona many times.
Yeah.
I have multiple souvenirs.
Yeah, he does. Every time I go, I get him OK Corral souvenir.
Honestly, ever since, because didn't you go with Chris and
I did, this past summer. I've been 7 times.
I've always,
honestly,
seeing those photos makes me really want to go.
Dude, it's a step back in time, and we actually made a demo of the song a few years ago, and Trey sent it into the Tombstone Epitaph, which is a newspaper that's been there for 130 years. Yeah, but they were interested in hearing it, so we're gonna resend it, and maybe they can put it on their city homepage or something, right when they open it up.
Yeah. Or maybe it could be their theme song, the theme song.
You walk in the town square, you just fucking hear the start up. Yeah. Right after this is Brackish, which this out of all these songs is the newest creation.
Right.
That you guys have unearthed. And I got to see this shit. I got to see this shit before anyone else, I think. At least I think I was.
You were?
Okay, yes. I saw this shit at the rehearsal studio, helped them record that video, and I
That's right,
fucking loved it. It was great.
That was Billy that recorded the video. That's right. There's a video on our page of us, right when we finished it, and Billy recorded it.
And I believe this was right when Skull Archer had just started practicing. So, I was really observing the way you guys were interacting. Let's try it like this and see how it sounds. And y'all would play it. And then, they'll be like, I think the previous way was better. Just seeing y'all, interact with each other, I kind of, took mental notes, okay, I think I know what I need to do.
You gotta be patient, dude.
Yeah.
You're writing songs for sure, especially with other people and people's opinions and shit.
Right, we're all open to each other's opinions. And,
yeah.
We try, I think we all have that, chemistry, and we, if Paul's an idea, we'll try it. If I have an idea, we'll try it. Trey's an idea, we'll try it. And just whatever sounds best and works out best.
Yeah, whatever feels best, too.
It feels best, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one, this one, I've said it quite a few times, I think everyone probably knows, but it's just my intense fear of dark water, and then I thought of also sinkholes. And, I saw a video a while back, and it was in Louisiana, and they had these 100-foot trees, and there was, it's in the swampy area, marshy area, and there's a sinkhole that just took this tree all the way down, and I was filming it, and I was just
to the tip.
It's like imagining me swimming and being sucked down in that vortex into the earth.
We actually did talk about this song at the last episode y'all were on, because this is when y'all just played the house party, and that song we recorded for it.
Right.
And I remember I told you about Drowning Simulator.
Oh yeah.
we're it's literally the first person view of a guy just drowning.
No, see, it freaks me out.
I couldn't do
If I go water and I can't see my toes, I have a problem with that.
Man. And I went, not last summer, the summer before, I went with my dad all the way to California, went to Santa Monica Beach. I literally was in the water for maybe 10 minutes, and I had to get out.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
No, dude, I went snorkeling in Hawaii, and I conquered my fear. Well,
and I'm a great swimmer.
I feel I was still nervous as shit.
Snorkeling is a lot of fun.
I was like, if a shark shows up, I literally have no chance. Where do I go? I can't out fucking run him.
I know, right?
In the water.
Well, the good thing is normally sharks kind of stray away from because I think there's these new suits that are being made for snorkelers. I think there's like some sort of pigment that like the suit has and like some of its lining that kind of like
Sharks don't like.
it kind of puts them in sensory overload mode, so they try to turn away from it. Like, you know how like you hear the rednecks like, if you put a bag of water on your front porch, you keep the skaters away.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, no. So what happens is mosquitoes are very closely related to flies, which and the main reason why they are is because they're compounded eyes, which is like there's literally like 100 different pupils that just expand this one eye. They see a lot of different directions in one sitting. That's why when you try to squat it, they're just like, yeah, good try, motherfucker. You know. So what happens is when you put a clear bag of water up, it drives all of these eyes to like look at these different infractions, which causes them to also have sensory overload, and then they turn away. I'm a fucking pest control tech. I'm supposed to know this shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. Knows how flies' eyeballs work. Shit.
Dude,
You know how to smash.
So
right?
what you're saying is the bag on the porch thing really works.
Shockingly, yes.
That's gross.
It is, because you could be using that water for something else.
It looks fucking trashy, dude.
It is trashy, but I'll tell you what, Cletus McBob Jr. don't give a flying
Yeah.
This could be a assault rifle, man.
Those
Have you
things
use
are
those?
cool.
Oh, dude, yes. Have you?
The assault rifle.
They're fucking amazing. I don't know.
And you pull the flies out, and they're like a salt covered fly.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know who invented that. Probably a guy who had way too much time on his hands. It looks really fun.
And it's fun. It is.
Well, because
Because flies are annoying.
yeah, very much so. So right after that, we go back to an older song that was on the EP, Ouija at the Witching Hour, which I always like calling this Luigi at the Witching Hour, and like picture like fucking
Sleazy at happy hour.
I think there's the one I came up with too, but no, this is. I'm pretty sure this is the longest song out of all these.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the longest
That's
one.
probably the longest Electric Vengeance song.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
It's about 7.5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never play the whole thing. Well,
Occasionally.
we did recently, but we normally cut off like the last 2 minutes or the last minute or something.
We usually crossfaded with Possess in the Pit, but last night we crossfaded it with Meat Grinder.
Yes.
That was
Oh
pretty cool.
God.
And that pit was intense.
Oh,
yeah, that
God.
was awesome.
That was it worked out because yeah, it was fun.
Meat Grinder's fucking. That's off the last album. Really good fucking song. Really good song. So have y'all ever fucked with a Ouija board before?
Yes, I have one right now. We grew up with the Ouija
Oh yeah,
boards.
I have the one I still had since I got for Christmas in '94.
Fucking Hasbro.
What is that? Is it Hasbro or Parker Brothers?
Parker Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hasbro has their own version that came out way later, but like no one cares about it.
The one I have too, it's a used one, and I got it at Thrift Town.
Oh, so it's extra creepy because it could be.
And what makes it extra creepy is it glows in the dark.
Shut up.
The indicator glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get, no bad vibes from it or anything, but
Damn it.
they're fun.
I kind of want to
Something
bring
to do
one
in
here because this is like houses in the 50s that were built mainly, well not mainly, but by a good group of people who built these houses were World War II veterans who came home for their families to live in and shit. So I don't know, maybe World War II soldier died here of old age, and maybe I can like get some of this crazy fucking PTSD shit coming off in here, like slamming my door or something. I don't know.
I have an old house too. I hear weird shit at night sometimes.
You know what? I remember I had this old TV. Well, not really old. It was like one of the first flat screen TVs where like had that big old center button in the middle. When you clicked it to turn on TV, go. And like when you would click it, go or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And you had to cover that light because when you turned the TV off, it was a fucking glowing blue light that was just really fucking bright and annoying as fuck.
I said fuck like 5 times within like 5 seconds.
Fuck said fuck.
F-bomb counter. I'm not doing an F-bomb counter. There's no way I can do an F-bomb
Yeah, I should
counter.
do an F-bomb counter for this.
Dude, I don't know what happens more.
I can get like 20 more fucks in here pretty quick.
I know you could. But see, the real question is, what happens more often on this podcast? Me playing with my beard or me saying the word fuck? That is a
Fuck.
fuck. That's a true question right there. So if you have a Ouija board, bring it so that we can play with my beard while we say fuck and bring the ghost to the house. Cool as fuck. So right after this, we go to, this is my absolute favorite song, not just off the album, this is like my new favorite song from you guys, Beaten to Death for Exercise. Brandon, the one thing that I think you have that no one else has, especially in the thrash metal bands around here, is the fact that you can hit words off really quickly. I would like to say that your words per minute singing far exceeds like all the other thrash singers. It really shows in this song. I mean, you're pretty much like spitting bars in this shit. Just like non-stop. And god damn it, do not come in the fucking house. My parents are here.
Lock the door, dude.
Hold up. Sorry.
Second intermission.
Second intermission.
So you tell his parents to fuck off.
While stroking his beard.
You're gonna turn the camera so you can see him get in trouble.
Podcasto. Okay, cool.
Go into the garage like an asshole would.
Wait, did we just rhyme that? Podcasto, good. Go in the garage like an asshole. Okay, so.
Damn!
New Scholar Archer song.
Got the hook.
Oh, speaking of new School Archer song, there is one coming up.
Ooh.
Nice.
Alright.
I don't know if y'all saw that minute and a half clip that I posted like a couple weeks ago, but it's pretty good.
Cool.
Working with Jacob is amazing.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
But enough of that crap. It's about y'all today.
Enough of that crap.
Yeah, it's about y'all. So
Back to this crap.
so honestly, this song kicks off the best way possible. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell us how this song starts off?
Okay. Yeah, well, I wrote it. It's actually, I would say probably one of the very first, if not the first, Electric Vengeance song. I had written it in 2007. I know we wrote, Bloodbath was one that Brandon had written around the time.
And Demonic Witching Hour,
Demonic
which kind of
Witching
turned
Hour.
into a Ouija Witching Hour.
Yeah, but we were playing that even back in our old band Freedom Club, so it kind of spilled off into, EV once we got it together. But Beaten Death for Exercise is about Richard Kuklinski,
The Iceman.
who is, the Iceman, from New Jersey. He was the hitman for the Gambino crime family.
Mm-hmm.
And, he had mentioned that, sometimes he would just beat people to death for exercise, which I thought was just very profound, just a way to knock somebody off, and it's like, wow, that's how he would get his exercise instead of joining LA Fitness.
And this comes from the voice clip you used comes from the interviews that happened, I believe, in 2002 or 3.
Yeah, that's his voice, dude.
Yeah, that's him. And if you actually watch the interview, he's very stoic.
He's scary.
Yeah,
I would not want to sit in a room.
He's ice cold, man.
He's as cold as ice.
Yeah, no, seriously, the way he's the way he looks at the camera, the way he's looking at the interviewer, it's just it's the most blank, cold expression I've ever seen on a human being. And, the way he talks, it makes you listen because he's quiet, but yet that's really intimidating.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
he's sincere, dude.
Yeah, he
That's not bull dip.
That's not. That's truth.
Yeah.
It's not bull dip.
I fucking and then y'all put my favorite part of the interview at the end, where he talked about how he was driving in his Lincoln all naked and shit. Where it's I took all my clothes.
Yeah,
One
time I had his blood in my shoes.
Yeah.
Just goes on that way. I had to throw all my clothes away.
That's fucking nuts, man.
He's from the same city that Michael Graves is from, of the Misfits. Dumont, New Jersey.
Speaking of that, they played Halloween. They covered Halloween.
We did last night. We covered Halloween by the Misfits.
With special guest Perp Shirt.
Yeah, Perp Shirt. Yeah.
Went up there, blasted blasted it off. Oh, shout out to Dallas Flanagan, who went up and did a guest vocals with Interment. Not bad, brother. Not bad at all. And then finally, last song on the album, the way that you end all your shows off is the way you end this album off, which is definitely what I was secretly hoping for, is Keep It Electric.
Keep It Electric.
I mean, this to me is your anthem. Like, this is the song.
It's like, you know, Key of Thrash of Exploder.
Yeah, exactly.
it's Keep It Electric and EV, it's like definitely our anthem. We played it pretty much every show.
God, for fucking years.
For years. Like every show we end with it.
And a funny story about that too, I wanted to squeeze in real quick, was when we were getting harassed by that same neighbor I was telling you about earlier, like when we were writing Keep It Electric, it was about 2009 I believe, and or about 2008 actually, and we were recording a demo of it on my 4-track recorder, and there she was again, as usual, pounding on the door, getting a perfect take of it,
Dude.
and then right in the middle, she starts pounding on the door, and it recorded like the whole conversation of her just screaming at us and, you know, saying, you know, just terrible things. And yeah, we almost kept it, you know, just because, and I wish we would have, but we're like, no, let's just redo it. And we finally were able to get one more take of it and kept it, and you know, used that in the early days. But
it was like that DRI song, you know, when the dad walks in, a bunch of dirty rotten nippers. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, that lady.
You should tell her to eat your butt.
Speaking of that, you are playing with Dirty Rotten Imbeciles.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah, December is the 3rd or 1st?
It's the first. The trees.
Or is it the 5th?
It's the first.
Early December. We're playing.
The only thing I
The
know,
first day of December, dude.
First of the month.
I'm gonna have to look up the lineup because I've been
It's a
talking.
killer lineup.
It is an amazing lineup.
I know Rapid Face is on.
Caustic.
Fate Bringer.
Fate Bringer.
Yeah.
DRI. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. So Rapid Face. The really cool thing about Rapid Face is 2 of its members, Mike Leach and Jesse Fletcher, both play in other bands that are like extremely fucking heavy. Like Mike Leach is one of the founders of Cesspool Corruption, which is a technical death metal band, and they're probably one of the biggest technical death metal bands we have in the scene. They always fucking impress. Their EP's fucking killer. Jesse Fletcher plays drums in Kalia, which is one of Tyler Berry's bands that he plays in, and that's just straight up grindcore.
Yeah,
So
I've played with him before.
Oh god, that motherfucker is crazy on drums.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Kalia?
Yeah, I have a sticker. I have a cabinet in my house that I put stickers and bands and play with.
I had a student one time in Kalia.
Huh.
Interesting.
Not really.
And I've always
played with them before. I can't remember where. Was it the Rail?
I've always
know that name.
Yeah, they're rad, dude.
I've always talked about Fatebringer, always hyping Fatebringer up. Ever since I saw them at Rel a super long time ago. Really fucking cool guys. You should definitely get a ticket from these guys. They cost $13, right?
13, I think.
Yep.
Okay, don't buy online. Because why would
You'll
you?
pay twice as much, dude.
Yeah.
Like $10.
Yeah, that's like a best kept secret, you know.
Yeah.
It's not best kept a secret, you know, because everyone just
We
pays.
don't want it to be a secret.
Way
Go
too
buy a
much.
ticket. We got them.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
People just assume they need to get it through, you know, Ticketmaster or whatever. And
No, man. If you buy,
always check the local bands that are opening first, because they have them and they're trying to, you know, push them, and they're always way cheaper, you know. So.
and you'll be helping them a lot if you buy from them.
Yeah.
Take it from me, who had to fucking sell Deicide tickets when we barely played any shows. So literally the only way we sold shows was I just knew people.
Yeah.
It can be hard when you're trying to sell tickets.
Skull Archer killed it that night, man. That was fun.
Yeah, that was
fucking
badass.
badass.
Man. I love
Thank you.
Y'all killed it, dude.
Thank you so much. I'm itching to play again, dude. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm making it official right here. The other day, I called Joseph out because I know when we want to come back. We want to come back March the 10th. It is DFW Metal Fest 4th annual. It'll be Saturday at Reno's Chop Shop, and I told Joseph specifically, this is the lineup: us, EV, Chemicost, Exploder, Incinerator. That's how you get people in the fucking room. Those 5 bands right there, we will destroy everyone. We'll destroy everyone. And I brought it up to Jacob.
Destroy everyone.
Everyone.
We'll murderize them.
Yeah.
Let's light this guy up.
We will kidnap the other bands playing at the other venues and decapitate all of them in the middle of the floor, and in their blood create a pentagram to bring Baphomet back to the world.
Holy shit!
Like, this is no joke.
Sounds like a lovely evening.
Now, I obviously I talked to Jacob about this because this Exploder wants to come back too, and I'm thinking that this will be the perfect time for both of us to come back. And Jacob said that he wouldn't mind doing double duty. In fact, he's always wanted to do double duty. So we'll put you up to the test, brother. We know you'll pass with flying colors. We talked to Joseph about it last night. He said he was very interested in it. But he did say, but we have Dead Horse playing the same night at Curtain Club. Are you sure you want to compete with that? I'm like, you fucking damn right I want to compete with that. Did you not just hear the lineup I told you that is going to be at Reno's? You have 2 comeback shows, and you have fucking Incinerator who hardly plays. But, when they do play, everyone's like, God damn, you guys are really good. So, like...
They whisper it on the backs of the wind.
I have a really good whisper voice.
Just like that.
I have a really good whisper voice, man. What can I say? So, the last thing I want to get into on the CD, I left this out on purpose. When you remove the CD and you see the back of it, you see EV, and if you look, it's just all these pictures of good friends, family, all there together, just having one hell of a time, because really, this right here is what it's about. This is the most important thing to us as musicians.
That's why we do it, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
that's our community right
that's
there.
It, man.
Mm-hmm.
Family, community,
brothers and sisters,
it's everybody that's involved, everybody that's there.
We're all one.
I mean, if you
We're a
didn't
happy
make it
family.
on the thanks list, chances are you're in those pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Like I tried, I sent 70 plus pictures to Xena, and she came up with the collage, and I tried to get everybody in. Something we all 3 really wanted to do, and that's what it's all about. For sure.
And I mean, the great thing is you can actually see some of the people in here that this album is dedicated to, which is really cool. Like Josh was in here.
Josh is
Yeah, definitely. Josh is in there a couple of times.
And also I wanted to say, Brackish is kind of special because the first time we played it, I believe, was in your garage.
Mm-hmm.
And
no shit.
I think that was the first time we publicly played it.
Yeah. Yes, it was the
And
first
that was in January
Mhm.
of this year. And in the video, you see Josh of Exploders going nuts.
Put the camera right off at the beginning, man.
Yeah. Because was that Josh?
Yeah,
Okay.
it did him and that other dude started like the tiniest pit ever, but it was really cool because they would start walking, him and Nick, started walking around this like really intense circle and shit. Like,
in a 10 by 10 square room.
Yeah.
With a full band set up and shit.
That was awesome. That was nothing like this. But he just, he really, after the show, he was like, dude, he really dug the song. And so every time I play it, I was going to make a shout out last night, but it was just so intense I forgot. But
no, dude, we always do, man.
Man.
Get excited, man.
Every time I play it, man, I think of Josh for sure.
Hell yeah. I remember Josh when he came out to that show that there's Explorers was supposed to play in June, but Nick got hit by that car on his bike, and they weren't able to play it.
I remember that.
And I remember Josh still coming out, and he watched us play. He really dug what we did, and I said thanks. Gave him a hug and everything, and now looking back, man, it just that means a lot more to me now than it did.
For sure, man.
But Josh was always with us. He lives in this fucking album. I swear to you. This is one of the absolute best releases in 2017. Whether it's from a big national act to a small local, this is something you have to pick up. Hit these dudes up. Get this shit, guys.
Thank you.
It's been a fucking absolute pleasure having you on again for the second time.
Thanks,
That's fun.
We're gonna end this off. I was unable to grab the camera to record the song, but it's all good because Nathan has this really good fucking video camera on his phone, that I've actually used before to record songs, especially the Anthemic song at the Fort Worth Metal Fest. And it came out really good. So he recorded Homicidal Relapse.
Awesome.
And that's what...
Oh, last night?
Yeah,
Pretty cool. All right.
From last night's show. And that's what y'all be able to hear. Guys, what do y'all have to say to everyone who, has always been there with you, supporting y'all, coming out, buying the new album, just always there? What do you got to say to them?
Oh, we just love you to death. Thank you so much. I mean, y'all make it possible. What can I say? I'm just absolutely flattered.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out on cold nights and shitty nights and weak nights and rainy nights and man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We love you guys.
Awesome, dude.
It's all it's
we're
all
fortunate to be a part of it.
It's a family. It really is a family, and
One big metal family.
it's one big metal family.
I have to thank y'all guys. You guys were the first local band I've ever seen back when I was 16 years old. I told the story 1,000 times on this show. I'll probably tell it 1,000 more times again. First band I ever saw, first band that really stuck with me. Rediscovering you after so many years, and meeting you at Waffle House buying the album. They're coming out the next week, like to Reno's.
And the rest is history.
The rest is fucking history, man.
Yeah.
So I have to thank y'all for everything y'all done for me, and everything that I know y'all will continue to do for me. And I will always,
man, ditto,
always,
man. You do a lot too. Thank you for the podcast, and man,
And
in 1 year, man, podcasts, and you're a staple in the scene, and you have your own band, and damn, man, coming up.
Pitbull's Prospect.
Pitbull's Prospect, shit, dude.
yeah, man, it comes back to you. That's amazing. Thanks for all
We're
your
proud
support.
of you, man.
We are proud of you, dude.
Thank
Seriously.
So, next week we will start having bands on that will be playing the house party. 2 bands of the 5 have not yet been on. So, the next 2 weeks we will have these bands on and you will get to know about them. We will promote this house party November 18th right here at the headquarters, just like the house warming party I had back in January. I'm having Apophis 2036, I'm having Beer Break, I'm having Black Chamber, Blasphemous Goat Vomit, Exhortation, all in that 10x10. It's only a $5 charge. Come on in, let's have some fucking fun. BYLB, bring your own food, bring your own big titty golf girlfriend, let's go. Let's
Yeah. Tell her to have them out.
Yeah. This has been DFW Metal Mayhem, the most brutal podcast in the Metroplex.
Homicidal Relapse.